English short stories for beginners. 100 English short stories to improve vocabulary and learn English in a fun way. Learning English through short stories. Episode 2. Number 7. New Year's Eve in Europe. New Year's Eve is always the night of December 31st in Germany, France, and Italy. Most people celebrate New Year's Eve with friends and family. At midnight, there are always fireworks. Most families are also prepare a special meal. A typical New Year's meal is crab, goose, or hot dogs. Germans also love potato salad. Often, New Year's Eve is an occasion for many people to drink lots of alcohol. Most young people also go to parties and some even go dancing. On 1st January is holiday all over the continent, with almost all businesses closed. On 2nd January, however, it's a normal working day in Europe. Number 8. Invoices and contracts. I am a student from France and live in a small apartment outside of London. Every month I have to pay a lot of bills. The rent is an important bill and costs me more than anything else. Every month I pay the rent, the water cost, the bill, my phone, and the electricity bill. I usually have the bills automatically deducted from my account. If my account is empty, I will wire transfer the money. Contracts must be taken seriously and are very important in England. If you breach a contract in this country, you will certainly get into trouble. If your income is fluctuating, it is probably best to avoid contracts. Number 9. Word Traveler. I was born in Dayton, Ohio, but to tell the truth, I never felt very comfortable there. Fortunately, I discovered different countries when I was still a teenager. My parents traveled a lot, and we were lucky to be able to live in different countries. For I can remember Asia, especially Japan, has always fascinated me. Europe is interesting, but most countries are not easy to live in. Although the culture and especially the food was always the best. When I got a little older, I started to travel by myself. I drove to Mexico and traveled all the way down to Panama. These were, of course, moreover adventurous than ordinary travels. I can honestly say that travel is educating in many ways. You also learn different cultures, and I got quick good at developing social skills. Most Americans travel only within their country, and there is nothing wrong with that. But I feel that international experiences educate more and are good for the brain. Number 10. Hobby Chef. My name is Susan, and today I'm going to show you how to make schnitzel. I prefer beef steak, but many people also like to eat pork. First, I cut the beef into the thin slices. Then, I'll heat them with my flat and hand until they're right. I sprinkle both sides with salt and pepper. I prepare 3 plates. On the first plate, I have four. The second plate, I've beat an egg on, and on the third plate, I have breadcrumbs. These slices are first laid into the floor, then onto the egg, and finally turned onto the breadcrumbs. The meat is fried from both sides for 2 to 3 minutes in a frying pan. Number 11. The break in. I have slept restlessly all night. I sleep alone and suddenly there is a bag. I jumped out of bed. I put on a pair of pants and examined the house. I hear the footsteps. They're coming out of the living room. When I enter the living room, it's empty. There is no one there. Now I notice that the balcony is open. Turn on the lights and look around. The cupboards are open, and on the floor are the old things. There were burglars here. I feel bad, but quickly notice that there is nothing missing. Everything is messy, but the burglars didn't take anything. They were looking for cash and jewelry. believe they were drug addicts because they only stole cash. I don't want to call the police the next day. I'll get a gun. Number 12. A broken phone. I haven't been able to charge my phone for days. At first, I thought it was on the charger. This may not be the reason, because the charger also works with another phone. Luckily, I know a shop where they can fix it. I have to leave the phone there and for a day so it can be investigated. The next day, I go back to the business to pick up my phone. I have a strange feeling. The salesman shows me my phone and opens it. Everything seems to be black. The man tells me the phone was damaged by a short circuit. The repair would cost $200. He also says that the phone has become wet and that's how it broke. Today, he has an offer for a new phone. The new phone costs only $300. I have no choice but to buy a new phone. I'm never going to use my phone in the bathtub again. Number 13. The painters. This morning the painters came. It was overdue as our house looked quite dilapidated. The painters brought a ladder and started to paint the outside walls. Each wall must be painted with white paint. They carry a bucket of paint, a brush, and a roll. With a roll, one can paint many walls in a short amount of time. Only one day should be necessary for our small house. But they're not done yet. Tomorrow, the interior walls in the house must be painted. The painters want to be paid immediately in cash and with no questions asked. Watch the continuation of this series in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this far into the video. Remember to subscribe to the Mr. English channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos.